King's Landing is both a city and a curse. Aegon the Conqueror was the first king to land there. His first conquest, a tiny village at the mouth of the Blackwater River, where he raised a wooden fort. When it became clear that Aegon would earn his title, people flocked to the fort and renamed it King's Landing in his honor. The ploy succeeded, and Aegon chose King's Landing for his capital over older and more beautiful cities like Old Town and anywhere else. The currying of royal favor thus became the foundation of the city, and blood its bricks. Maegor the Cruel, Aegon's son, completed the city's famous Red Keep to hold the trappings of power, the royal family, the king's guard, and the Iron Throne. To maintain the new castle's secrets, Maegor murdered all its masons and craftsmen at a feast, which he catered with the new castle servants, who soon found all its secrets for themselves. When the Faith Militant challenged his rule, Maegor raised their sept of remembrance to the ground with them inside at prayer and erected the dragon pit on the ashes. But the great dragons it housed were attacked by the very low-born people they were meant to terrify. Thousands of people died in the attempt, but hundreds of thousands lived in King's Landing. And now the only dragons in the city are golden. Like most kings, Aegon and Maegor missed a central truth. That a king lands is less important than what he lands on. The people, who will never visit his Red Keep, or his Dragon Pit, or any of his noble monuments to nobility, because they're too busy holding up his realm. Without the slums of Flea Bottom and the poor and desperate folk it produces, who would fight the king's wars and cook the king's meals, and admire him as he rode past at speed? Without its winding dark alleys and pot shops, where would the Red Keep empty its sewage? Of all kinds. Without the Street of Flour, the king would have no bread. Without the Street of Steel, the king's armies would have no swords, armor, or victories. Without the Street of Looms, the king would go naked. And without the Street of Silk, he wouldn't enjoy it. Without the Street of Sisters, the king would have no humility. It leads from the ruin of the Dragon Pit to the ruin of the great sept of Baelor, where the Targaryens and Baratheons buried their kings, until Cersei Lannister unburied them. Now those kings are ashes, scattered on the wind, and nobody marked where they landed. A palace without people is a tomb. A realm without people is scenery.